The U.S. Air Force's only rotary-wing personnel recovery platform is employed for both military and civilian search and rescue operations. The Blackhawk served as the inspiration for this armed, all-weather, day and night CSAR helicopter. This helicopter is no other than the HH60G Pavehawk. Keep watching to see what makes this helicopter unique, why it's been used in so many historic missions, and why this $15 million U.S. helicopter is a lifesaver. So be sure to stay with us until the end. The Pavehawk is a heavily modified Army Blackhawk helicopter with a state-of-the-art communication and navigation suite. It includes integrated inertial navigation, global location, Doppler navigation systems, satellite communications, secure voice, and fast communications. The night vision goggles, forward-looking infrared system, and autonomous flight control system included on the HH60Gs significantly improves nighttime low-altitude operations. Moreover, the HH60's capacity to operate in cold weather is due to incorporating color weather radar and an engine rotor blade anti-ice technology. The Pavehawk can carry out its job with the help of its two crew-served 7.62mm or 50 caliber machine guns, its internal auxiliary fuel tanks, and its cargo hook that can hold up to 8,000 pounds or 3,600 kilograms. All HH60Gs have foldable rotor blades to facilitate air transit and maritime use. The Pavehawk has a radar warning receiver, an infrared jammer, and a flare chaff countermeasure delivery mechanism to aid in battle. It has a person locating system compatible with the PRC-112 survival radio. It may transmit range and bearing information to a survivor's location and a hoist that can lift 600 pounds from 200 feet. The Pavehawk also includes a tactical data receiver that can pick up transmissions from over the horizon in near real time, allowing for continuous mission updates. The sensors are relocated on the nose, not far from the starboard side's retractable in-flight refueling probe. You can see the AN/AAR-47 V2 missile warning system sensors, which are being replaced by DAIR-CM on some Pavehawks. The AN/APR-39B V2 radar warning receiver, or RWR antennas for self-protection, and the infrared or IR probe light that is used to align the helicopter for air-to-air refueling at night. The tail features two MWS sensors and two RWR antennas. While most helicopters only have room for a single gun, this one has been outfitted with a GAU-18 50 caliber machine gun and a GAU-2 7.6251 minigun. The GAU-18, with 600 armor-piercing incendiary or API rounds stashed in the external ammo boxes, has been the weapon of choice for deployments during the past 15 years due to its superior strike range and destructive power compared to the minigun. There are 2,700 bullets in this Gatling gun, and it can fire at a rate of either 2,000 or 4,000 per minute. Captain White noted that the GAU-2 is not as effective against hardened targets as the 50 caliber, but it is exceedingly precise and has a low danger of collateral damage. Both cannons can be locked in the fixed forward fire mode and controlled by the pilots, eliminating the need for the Special Mission Aviators, or SMAs, to operate from behind the scenes. The right side SMA of the HH60G cabin operates a hydraulically actuated rescue hoist that is deployed if the helicopter can't land to complete its mission or while working over water. When lifting a patient in a litter that could start spinning, or when there is a risk for the cable to become entangled in some obstacles, the hoist's 200 feet of cable weighing 600 pounds can easily lift the para-rescue man and the survivor, with the SMA guiding the cable to preserve the safety. In the latter instance, the pilots can activate the shear mechanism, which utilizes a tiny explosive charge to drive a blade into the cable and chop it if the safety of the helicopter and crew is in grave danger. The design. In addition to its unique design, the Pavehawk is distinguished by the presence of two auxiliary fuel tanks within the cabin, each of which can hold 185 gallons of fuel and can effectively quadruple the helicopter's range without air refueling. However, the tanks feature two transfer pumps on the inside to carry fuel to the main tanks so that the engines can be fed indirectly. If the helicopter loses an engine while having a big gross weight or is on a mountain rescue mission and requires more power to get to the needed altitude, the fuel dumped tube behind the cabin can release 800 pounds of fuel per minute. One of the Air Force's modifications to the standard Blackhawk is a pair of upward-mounted AN/ALE-40 countermeasures dispenser systems, CMDSs, that fire flares chaff in the direction of the rotor, increasing the likelihood that the chaff may confuse and disable an enemy radar system. Below the external gun mounts on the main landing gear are 2 more ALE-40s for use as flares. The Pavehawk can be folded up like the Seahawks used by the Navy. Specifically, instead of disassembling, the rotor blades can be folded backwards and secured by brackets attached to the tail's mounting points. Additionally, the tail section may be swung to the right after the tail rotor blades have been folded up, greatly reducing the helicopter for easy transport. In contrast to the right side, which has the cockpit and most of the aircraft systems, the left side of the aircraft houses the Auxiliary Power Unit, or APU, and the fuel panel utilized for ground refueling. Just below the fuel gauge is the pneumatic ground start mechanism, which, like a car's jump starter, allows the helicopter's engine to be started with the help of another aircraft. When an APU fails in the field, this buddy start system employs a huge hose to transfer pneumatic power from the second helicopter, with its engines working, to the first, like a fighter jet's engine. 2 of the Pavehawk's specialized sensors are located near the nose, where the exterior walkaround comes to a halt. The first is the AN/APN 239 color weather radar, which, as Captain White noted, can scan up to 240 nautical miles ahead of the aircraft, or almost 2 hours ahead of the aircraft flying at its normal cruising speed. The radar performs admirably, even if it's an older technology, allowing the crew to make alternative plans in the event of hazardous weather. For example, the radar's air-to-surface modes can pinpoint a ship's location and record its coordinates so that a helicopter can fly there. HH60W Jolly Green 2. The new HH60W Jolly Green 2, which is rumored to be the replacement for the HH60, will have a glass cockpit like the UH60M, giving pilots more control. HH60W helicopters began replacing HH53Gs at Moody Air Force Base in November 2020, when the base received its first 2 operational HH60Ws. The combat search and rescue mission in Vietnam was pioneered by the HH3E Jolly Green and the HH53 Super Jolly Green crews, and their heroic legacy inspired the naming of the HH60W. The HH60G has been decommissioned from active duty, but will be used as a training aid for career enlisted aviators in technical training. By acquiring an HH60G, the CEA Center of Excellence, or COE, can now offer the most cutting-edge aviation technology. Master Sergeant Thomas Liscombe, a 344th TRS and COE instructor, said, "While the airframe is being retired, the rotor system, engine, airframe, navigation, and munition systems are applicable to today's flying force." Pavehawk's service history. The Pavehawks have a lengthy history of usage in contingencies, starting in Operation Just Cause. During Operation Desert Storm, they supplied combat search and rescue coverage for coalition forces in western Iraq, coastal Kuwait, the Persian Gulf, and Saudi Arabia. They also provided emergency evacuation coverage for U.S. Navy SEAL forces entering the Kuwaiti shore before the invasion. During Operation Allied Force, Pavehawks provided continuous combat search and rescue coverage for NATO air forces and successfully retrieved 2 Air Force pilots who were separated behind enemy lines. In the aircraft's humanitarian aid missions, 3 Pavehawks deployed in March 2000 to Mozambique, Africa, to help international flood relief operations. The HH60s conducted 240 trips in 17 days and delivered more than 160 tons of humanitarian aid goods. After Hurricane Katrina in September 2005, more than 20 active-duty reserve and National Guard Pavehawks were sent to Jackson, Mississippi to support recovery activities in New Orleans and adjacent areas. Pavehawk teams performed 24-hour operations for nearly a month, saving more than 4,300 Americans from post-hurricane damage. Within 24 hours of the earthquake and tsunami in Japan, HH60Gs deployed to support Operation Tomodachi, providing search and rescue capacity to the disaster response. Today, Pavehawks continue to deploy to support operations in Afghanistan, Iraq, and Libya. HH60 crews have aided hundreds of American, coalition, and foreign national personnel by undertaking personnel recovery and medical evacuations, or medevac operations, under low visibility and illumination conditions at all altitudes. It all comes down to the main question: is it wise to retire this life-saving helicopter? If you like this video, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to our channel for regular military upgrades. Also, don't forget to leave a comment in the section below. Thanks for watching.